We'll call this meeting to order. Good morning, everyone. And I want to thank everybody for coming this morning to the Public Information and Education Committee and Special Board meeting. We'll get started now and start with calling the meeting to order. Done that. And then we will go to find out if we have a quorum. Mr. City Manager.
Thank you very much. Director Scott Houston.
Here.
Chairman Harold Williams.
Here.
Director Desi Alvarez. Director Don Deere.
Here.
Director Gloria Gray.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we have a quorum.
Very well then. We will get started. And first up is public comment.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, staff has not received any requests for public comment, though this meeting is being held both in person and virtually. If there's any member of the public that would like to speak under public comment, please indicate so by raising your virtual hand. Mr. Chairman, I do not see any request for public comment.
Okay, then what's next is you lucky people. There is presentations. You have, if you like. No. Okay,
Mr. Chairman, we do not have any presentations today.
okay, then we'll move on to the next item, which would be action items.
Yes, and this item 5A, is related to authorizing authorize waiving a condition of the water bottle filling station program guidelines. And for this presentation, we do have Tammy Hurley-High, our water policy and resources analyst.
Thank you, EJ. So this presentation slide for this update begins on page 5 of the committee packet. And this item is being brought to you to provide an update on the water bottle filling station program, and then also to accept an application that we received from a church or not-for-profit school. And the reason that we're asking for this exception early during this fiscal year is because we want to maximize the utilization of this program. In past years, we've usually waited until the end of the fiscal year to make a request like this waiver, but again, we're motivated to allocate the budget funding this year. So if we can go to the next slide, please. This slide shows the applications that were received for the last fiscal year, 23-24. And as you are aware, last month, the board authorized waiving conditions under the program guidelines to allocate the remaining funding that was available to entities that submitted more than 2 applications in the fiscal year. And as you can see, there's multiple applications from the Redondo Union High School and the Manhattan Beach Unified School District. So we were able to accommodate those applications and we have received their request. If we can go to the next slide, please. Here is a photo I just wanted to share with you, a station that's been recently installed. This is at the Manhattan Beach Middle School. This is one of their applications they submitted earlier on last fiscal year. And this particular bottle filler station is the only one that's located on the 2nd floor of their campus in the main classroom building. So we were able to do a photo opportunity earlier this week with Director Alvarez, and we'll be bringing that to you next month to share that. Can you go to the next slide, please? And this slide indicates agencies that we will need to schedule a joint photo opportunities for. As I mentioned, we just recently completed one in the Manhattan Beach Middle School. We will continue to keep working on getting these scheduled and keep you all updated as more opportunities become available at these other locations. Can you go to the next slide, please? And indicated here is what was approved by the board last fiscal year, just as a brief reminder. So thank you very much for making favor to the program. We were able to accept the applications that came in, and we're moving forward in processing those. Can you go to the next slide, please? So we received an application from the Gardena Buddhist Church. And again, as I mentioned earlier, instead of waiting until the end of the fiscal year to bring this to the board, staff is recommending that the board consider authorizing a waiver for this program so that we may be able to accept the application now. So I will read the staff recommendation and we would be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So the recommendation for this item is that the board authorize staff to approve application eligibility from a not-for-profit church or school organization. That concludes my report. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
All righty, thank you very much. Anything to add to that?
No, I think Tammy mentioned this. This is something that has taken place each year. We've done several not-for-profit schools or churches throughout our service area. But the minor difference here is that we usually ask those applicants to wait until the very end of the year to make sure that we have available funding. Over the past few years, we typically do have significant funds towards the end. And so we're always trying to raise awareness of the program and get as many applications as we can late in the year. And in this case, because it's so early, the question is, do we want to ask them to wait, roughly the next 9 or 10 months to make that decision? So staff stands behind this recommendation.
Okay, Director Houston.
Well, number one, I support it. And number two, if I'm not mistaken, I think they have a school there, right? I believe at that church.
Have a what?
School. I think they have a school on that campus, I think. Which has always been a big part of when we've looked at especially the religious organizations, if they've got a school that's been allowable. So like Temple of Kiba, I think another Catholic school over in, I think Gardena, and some others. So, and with Michael's Learning Place, that's a pretty public building over there on Rosecrans. So we've had a great precedent, and I say there's no reason to make them wait. I would go with staff's recommendation, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Well, I agree and concur with that. So we'll send that on to the, I'm going to say city council, but yes. So we'll move this forward to the board.
Thank you very much. And that, Mr. Chairman, brings us to our information calendar, item 6 on the agenda. And we have 2 of those today. The first is item 6A. It's our monthly communications update. And for this presentation, we do have Jen Jensen, our public information specialist, too.
We have quite a bit of great updates to share with you today. So I will start our communication update with a summary of our web news on packet page 13. This past reporting month, we published a web news story that captures really a holistic outlook of the upcoming 2024-2025 outreach and water use efficiency programs that West Basin will host, which gives the story gives a public comprehensive overview of what people can look forward to and also anticipate for this upcoming year from West Basin. And rolling into our media coverage on packet page 14, we had quite a bit of variety of coverage this past month. West Basin was included in the Long Beach Press and Daily Breeze, which highlighted our upcoming events as top things to do for families in the area to participate in. And then West Basin was also included in the press publication of an article that captured the significance of the district's recycled water production alongside our Veolia partners. And although this is a publication that covers an area that's outside of our region, it was a very nice mention that further expands awareness of West Basin and our partnership with Veolia. Under paid media coverage, I'll point out West Basin's most recent procurement advertisement in the LA Times. The Public Information and Education Department utilizes these ads to promote the district's procurement system and bid opportunities. So throughout the past calendar year, a series of 4 ads were produced for the LA Times West edition, with the first placement was on July 28th. The ad has reached the LA Times 117,000 print subscribers, 257,000 digital subscribers, and 867,000 print and digital readers. So the PI department closely tracks the metrics on these, driving to our website's Doing Business with West Basin landing page. And as of this week, it is our 5th most viewed page on the website, with an average of 2 unique visitors per day. And then to further substantiate the statistics for the results of this ad, our bid system has seen an increase of 3 registrants, bringing it to a total of 10,711. So moving on in the report, the district appeared in the SBESC July newsletter featuring our outreach and water use efficiency program schedule and events. And to wrap that up, all media mentions and articles, as always, are available in attachment B located on packet page 30. So moving on to packet pages 15 to 17, this captures our top social media posts across all platforms for Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. On Instagram, we announced the save the date for the Water Harvest event and provided a preview of August education programs. And on Facebook, our top engagement featured a promotional video reel of our water bottle filling station program. And then LinkedIn, we highlighted the welcoming of our new interns and featured our finance department being awarded the Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting. It's a mouthful. Overall, a lot of really great content on social media that captured the breadth of West Basin's work and impact. And then moving on to our PI programs, page 19, to give you an update of planning for this year's Water Harvest Festival. I will share the floor with Mel to provide information on that.
Thank you, Jen. Good morning, Chair Williams, directors and members of the committee. I wanted to provide an update on this year's water harvest, which is less than 2 months away. I'll first touch base on our logistics, which begins on packet page 19. The contract with our event planner was executed, and we've begun our planning meetings. We also have a verbal agreement with our main parking lot with a contract to be executed, as well as a confirmation with our shuttle service. We have 13 booths confirmed so far, with more to follow to fill up our 26 spaces. The latest additions not included on the next page are the City of El Segundo Wastewater and Water, LA County Public Works, STEAM, and Sierra Club. In addition to the confirmed booths, a huge get for this year's festival is the Wildland Foundation's Mobile Learning Center, which is confirmed after a 1-year hiatus. The Learning Center will come to Water Harvest to provide an on-site opportunity to educate our attendees about conserving and valuing our precious water resources. It is a 1,000-square-foot science museum on wheels that features a 40-person multi-sensory theater and 7 interactive stations, and we're really excited to have them back. Regarding our marketing and promotional efforts, we have a landing page which will be updated constantly as more information becomes available, as well as the event listing on our website and the press release which was sent to media. The flyers in English and Spanish are ready. The English version is attached, and Desiree handed out copies earlier today. The monument sign was put up this past Tuesday on the corner of South Hughes Way and PCH, and in progress are social media content, community event listings, and e-blasts. We will work with the general manager's office to send your promotional materials on Monday and your request of physical flyers in-house by the last week of August. After paid advertising, this year's budget of $5,000 will be put towards social media, digital flyer distribution services for our school districts, event listings, and a dedicated targeted email to the LA Parents magazine audience. Also in development are sponsorship list review and build, USA-made prize item research and eventual selection, insurance and permits, booth solicitation and layout, volunteer outreach, and selecting vendors for lunch and snacks, games, the reptile zoo, and other fun, family-friendly, and educational attractions. In addition to our confirmed booths on packet page 20, our next steps center on replicating last year's success. These include sponsorship solicitation, in-kind donation and prize solicitation, stage show development, school notifications, confirming insurance and permits, and the breakfast mixer, which will again take place from 9 to 10 prior to the festival opening. It is a chance to honor our sponsors and retailers And like last year's mixer, we envision a small group of VIP stakeholders. We will work through the general manager's office for a list of approximately 5 VIPs each by the end of the month, and then provide the invite itself both digitally and physically, which is in progress. At next month's PI committee on September 19, I'll provide more information on pre-event materials for the board that include parking passes, the run of show and event program, talking points, and the breakfast invites, as well as updates on sponsorship and booth participants and media and promotion coverage. That concludes my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, thank you very much. Questions?
Thank you, Mel. Just a question, maybe more of a comment, because I think you guys are doing this great and it's very early. I know we'll have the breakfast portion and that's its own situation, but I know on the outreach side, you all send it out to like all the school districts and all the city managers' offices. But I would really like it if our staff would make sure when you send it to, let's say, the city managers' offices, as well as the school superintendent's offices, if somehow you could ask them to encourage their elected, board members, council members, that please, if they want to, stop by sometime during the event. Because I'd love it if we would see more of our local electeds actually stop by, even if it's during part of it, because obviously, if appropriate, we would recognize them, but we certainly want to welcome them and walk around the site with us, but unfortunately, we just don't get a lot of our local electeds to physically come that day, and it is what it is. I know a lot of things are going on, but can we make an extra effort to let them know, hey, it's happening, and even if you stop by for 20, 30 minutes or bring your kids or grandkids, I mean, we'd love to have them there, so.
We definitely do invite them 1 week before the information, so we'll keep at it and try to encourage them to participate even for a few minutes.
Thank you.
Okay. Questions? How about Director Gray? Let's see, well, we know that, does Director Alvarez come to these?
Director Alvarez has been to these. I know he attended last year. I believe this year he does have a conflict. Actually, no, this is the 1 week that he can attend and he plans to attend. Is that correct?
Yes. that's
Yes.
correct.
Got it.
All right, very good, very good. Well, I'm looking forward to this. You folks are doing a tremendous job. You haven't failed me yet or the community yet. So I'll just keep it up. You guys are great, so.
Shall I continue with the communications report?
If you want to.
I do want to. All right, so next slide, please. We are happy to announce that the West Basin Water News newsletter has been successfully relaunched and deployed. Just for some background again, after a couple years of hiatus, Water News was redesigned with a new look and story format geared towards sharing district highlights that really impact our communities and showcase simultaneously the work that West Basin is doing through education programs, classes, events, and also sharing helpful information for people in our service area. So the newsletter was deployed to 3,900 plus current subscribers with an open rate of 32%, which equates to about 1,223 people, and a click-through rate through that newsletter of the links and of an active readership of about. So this number is right on track with newsletter engagement averages across all industries. So that includes, just to give you an example, travel to environmental, education, etc. And the stats that I just provided, while they are not included in this report because the reporting cycle due date for the submission for the board memo didn't align with the newsletter launch, but I will post the launch data and stats that we received, and then certainly include those statistics and metrics for the board in the next report for visuals. And then as we build back our readership base because of that 2-year hiatus, our goal is really to continue engaging people with this content and growing our readership rate as we continue to publish these quarterly newsletters. And as always, you can find a digital copy of Water News on the West Basin newsletter webpage. And speaking of that, on the next packet page, we are happy to share a status update on the launch of the new West Basin website, which launched on August 1st. This new website format contains all of the original content in the previous site with a more modern appearance and functionality features that make it really more engaging and also user-friendly. So the PI team has really worked diligently for months to prepare for this enhancement of the customer experience through this digital platform, which really is one of the district's main public outreach platforms that we have and utilize. So if you've had a chance to explore the site, you'll see the visual enhancements, the layouts and modernization structure of the website that gives people all the information they need to learn about West Basin's expansive operations and impact. And as with any transition to a new website, I do want to mention that we do recognize there will be issues that arise for the course, but the PI department and IT will continue to proactively troubleshoot any issues that would come up and solve for them as we move forward. Next slide, please. This shares an update on our efforts to promote our public education through water lab programs, including ECL tours and Know Your H2O classes. So marketing and outreach efforts showed a successful turnout for the final ECL public tour this calendar year, which occurred on August 10th, just a few days ago, and had an attendance of 57 people with 24 in the service area. The final 2024 Know Your H2O class is scheduled for September 11th, and the PI team is currently in the process of scheduling events and class dates for the upcoming 2025 calendar year. And then moving on to the next page, we will share a status update on the Parkway Beautification Program. We are very excited about the public interest in this program continuous. Out of more than 100 initial applications and eligibility screenings to date, we've completed 23 Parkway renovations so far. The PI team, in collaboration with the policy team, is continuing our marketing efforts to really expand and extend further outreach to fill 4 remaining program spots for an expanded total of 35 renovations. We move forward with a second round of door hanger advertisement on Monday, deploying 1,600 door hangers in divisions 2 and 5, and have had 16 signups since then. We do have a strategy in place for further expanded marketing outreach if needed, including an additional round of door hangers in other neighborhoods, program promotion through municipality PIOs, newsletter blasts, social media, and web stories as well. And then Gus will provide more detailed programmatic updates in his report. And on the next slide, we have firescaping update. The next workshop is scheduled for September 19th. The venue was moved from the initial community center location to McTaggart Hall due to the landslides in Rancho Palos Verdes area. And we are looking forward to partnering with organizations to host this workshop. And just to give you an update on targeted marketing efforts, those include social media posts and e-blasts to area residents through the SBSC and through their newsletter that will go out a month before the event and in the weeks leading up to it. Additional promotional outreach includes the landing page on the website, a calendar listing, a homepage spotlight story on our website, and a web news story, as well as a flyer that is available for promotion too. And then we'll share a packet of information and promotional items with all of the board members for you to share with community members as well if you choose to do so to promote this offering for additional outreach. And then, that packet will be sent via email on Monday through the general manager's office to you all. And then on the next slide, which shares an update on the PB lateral project, I'll pass it to Daryl to share more information.
Thanks, Jen. With the last few feet of pipeline that was installed last month, the construction outreach effort by our consultant team included responding to a handful of resident concerns about dust, idling trucks, and mismailed order deliveries. The outreach team also provided outreach updates to a couple of city staffers, both from the city of Torrance and the Palos Verdes Estates Public Works Departments. 2 construction notices were developed and issued. 1 neighborhood canvas was completed for the remaining month of Vista Montana construction work. And for this month, the upcoming construction outreach work will be focused on public notifications for the pump station construction, which is up. with that, turn it back to you.
The next slide, please. I would like to share information with you ahead of the recycled water fill station ribbon cutting event. The fill station soft opened in the beginning of August, and this is a celebration of the grand opening with this ribbon cutting. So we've had a comprehensive promotion strategy that we rolled out through a West Basin web story, a letter to retailers for cross promotion to their customers, social media posts, targeted e-blasts to residents in our service area through the South Bay Environmental Services, and an FAQ to answer all programmatic questions as well on the fill station landing page on the website, and an instructional video that we published to the website as well to give people really a snapshot of what to expect and anticipate when they go to fill up. And now we're looking forward to celebrating that grand opening on August 22nd for the fill station, which is next week, where we will host fill station demonstrations to capture multimedia content to promote the program. And we did send out a media advisory to relevant press outlets, inviting them to attend the event to create additional public awareness and program promotion. And we have received some interest back and some confirmation of attendance for media to cover this. And then in addition to that, a post-event press release has been drafted and approved to share multimedia assets and spread the word about this free resource as well after the ribbon cutting, in addition to the media advisory that we just sent out. And we will continue to promote this program continuously through our own social media and outreach channels as well. And just as a quick reminder, the fill station is open now until October 31st, very end of October. And then as we move on to our concluding slide on page 29, we captured much of what's on this slide through our report summaries that I just mentioned. But just to recap, we are really looking forward to hosting an array of district events in the upcoming months, including the fire escaping workshop, water harvest event, new recycled water customer events, and to really commemorate the district's involvement in large-scale recycled water projects throughout Greater Los Angeles. And these include planning celebrations with the board, of course, to honor the district's involvement in the Intuit Dome and Chargers facility, and to really recognize the substantial sustainability efforts for such remarkable projects that West Basin is leading. And with that, that concludes my communications update, and I'll open it up to any questions if you have any. Happy to answer.
Very good, thank you. Questions?
Don't have any questions. Thank you.
Any, Director? No? Wow, you're gonna spoil these. Well, I have one question. I keep hearing a lot of information of question, not questions, but information coming out on the Intuit Zone. Are we getting passes to? I thought is it opening tonight or something? Yeah, I thought they were going to. So we're invited to that. So don't bring any money, you know, that's why, that's a great time to go.
I figured you might have next. I'm gonna ask you for tickets.
No, I don't even know, never mind. Okay, well, a great report. Next one.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. And thank you for that presentation. I know there was a lot of information in there. So if you have follow-up questions later today or later in the week, please feel free to let me know. And the last of our information items is item 6B. It's our monthly conservation programs update. And for this presentation, we have Gus Meza, our Senior Water Policy and Resources Analyst.
Thank you, EJ. Good morning, Chairman Williams, committee members and directors. This presentation, I'll be using the PowerPoint that's located on page 45. Next slide, please. We continue to implement our Parkway beautification program in our targeted underserved priority areas, and we're seeing lots of interest. Jen just mentioned we've had 23 new parkways constructed. And as you can see from this table here, We've met or exceeded our goal of constructing at least 5 parkways in each division, but we still need a couple more from divisions 2 and 5. And we're aiming to achieve full participation in each division. Jen covered the additional outreach that's being conducted, and we'll report back next month on further completed projects. Since our last round of direct marketing went out this week, we've already had 16 new applications in divisions 2 and 5. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to have additional applications trickle in over the next couple of weeks, which is what happened in our initial marketing effort that we conducted. Again, we're very happy with how smoothly this program has run, and we're going to have additional budget for this program to construct a few more parkways. So anywhere between 5 and 7 parkways per division is going to be our goal, our budget. We're getting close to the fall planting season, so any new landscapes that are installed in the next month or two will be perfectly fine for the fall. Cooler weather, starting to get some rain. Be a great timing. Next slide, please. I'm currently on packet page 47. We continue to provide our underserved areas with grass removal resources, helping conserve water. Since we began the Grass Replacement Plus program, which has now concluded, we provided 35 free landscape designs, delivered 16 trees to boost local tree canopies, and removed 41,534 square feet of grass from 37 homes. As you can see from this table, as we've reported in past months, we've had lower participation from divisions 3 and 4, as you can see in the table here. So we recognize there are fewer residents in these areas. However, it is still our goal to bring these types of programs to all the residents in these areas. So we're working with our PI department to develop an outreach strategy that we can implement in the coming year to get the word out to divisions 3 and 4, well, to all the divisions actually, for this program. Just this week, we analyzed the situation a bit further by evaluating the number of qualifying homes in each of these divisions. Our intern Caitlin did a great job utilizing GIS to map out and tabulate the number of homes in each division. We learned that there are over 1,700 single-family homes in Division 3. That's the Harbor Gateway just west of Carson area, and there are over 4,000 single-family homes in the Del Air and Whitesburg area, Division 4. There are definitely enough homes in these areas to where we should be able to target them for our programs. And while the cost is a significant hurdle for many of these folks to construct these type of gardens, we want to try our best to get them connected to our resources. We'll be using this information, the GIS information, and working with our public information department to develop some strategies, some marketing strategies for these areas. Also currently requesting a grant extension from DWR in order to continue providing the $5 per square foot rebate. That grant will expire, it's set to expire September, beginning of September next month. But since we've spent about half the funding, about $150,000 of the $300,000, we're requesting an extension to continue providing our additional $3 per square foot with next $2 for $5. So we'll report back regarding that extension request. Next slide, please. I'm currently on packet page 48. We continue to see residents from throughout our service area participate in the $3 per square foot rebate. This is a program that we talk to our residents about when we're out in the community, tabling events. We have our information, our postcards, and also the South Bay COG. They provide this information at community centers, cities, libraries. So we're doing everything we can to get the word out about this rebate. Again, looking at this table, you can see that the Division 4 slightly lower than the other divisions. But like with our disadvantaged community program, our DAC program, we'll be looking at new ways of marketing the program to this area, as well as to all the divisions. Also, with our new joint program that's being developed in the Malibu area with West Virginis, we hope to see more applications come in the future from that program as well. So as mentioned, we'll continue to work with our Public Information Department on developing all these strategies in the near future. Slide, please. I'm on the Public Agency Design Assistance slide on page 49. We recently learned that MWD increased their public agency rebate from $4 per square foot to $5 per square foot. They have two grants, one from DWR and one from USBR. Their USBR grant is smaller, so they mentioned that that extra dollar from USBR won't last very long. They have a big service area and the money goes pretty fast. So as you can see from this list, we have worked with our cities and public agencies to provide the free landscape designs, which many have taken advantage of, as you can see here. But unfortunately, some have not applied for the rebate yet. So this week, we reached out to each one of them to inform them about MWD's temporary increase of the $5 per square foot rebate, because we want them to learn about it and take advantage of that rebate, because it's not going to last very long. So they can get it now for their projects and lock that in. That would be great if they're ready with their projects. Okay, one site is LA Southwest College. They have a very large project, and it's about 200,000 square feet. They have different areas within the college that they want to convert over to more of a California friendly landscape. They're going out to design. It's kind of a long-term timeline that they have. And so we're going to try to encourage them either to phase their project to see if maybe they can apply for certain areas, apply later on in the year, next year. If they're not quite ready right now, they're just in the design phase. And so we did reach out to Metropolitan Water District to get their opinion, and they said the same thing, that we should try to phase it, apply this fiscal year, or apply when they're ready down the road. So all these projects that we deal with our cities and schools, they're in different stages. Some are ready to apply, some are not ready to apply yet. For example, we're working with Cal State Dominguez University here on a project, and they may be applying this next month for the higher rebate. So we're trying to encourage them, talk to them a couple of times to try to apply for the higher rebate, because it'll revert back to $4. $1 makes a big difference. If they have a 100,000 square foot project, $100,000. That makes a big difference. Next slide, please. I'm on page 50. The city of Hermosa Beach, they recently applied to remove 32,000 square feet of non-functional turf. As you can see from the photographs here, this is grass that located in an area that really has no real purpose except wasting water, well, it's an aesthetics. But so we want them to convert these locations, these sites. They'll be receiving they actually did apply, and they'll be receiving the $5 per square foot or $160,000 from MWD for this project. So we're very happy that the city of Hermosa Beach applied. Next slide, please. Here we show the number of rebates for the last fiscal year for the commercial and public agency rebate program. We're hoping to get more participation now that MWD's rebate has increased for the public sector. The rebate for commercial is at $3 per square foot and $5 per square foot in our VAC areas for the commercial sites. Next slide, please. Here's a completed commercial grass replacer project in the city of Carson at a company called Prologis. Yeah. Prologis. Okay. So you can see here that they removed this non-functional turf and they put in different type of landscaping here. So it's great to see the commercial properties participating in this program. It's actually 6,833 square feet. So they received $34,165 at the $5 per square foot amount. They received the funding back in June for this project. So we are exploring ways to recognize projects like this, the one you see here, especially with non-functional turf irrigation dam coming into effect in the next couple of years. And we'll be working with our public information team here to come up with some creative ways on how we can encourage these projects and to recognize those who move forward with their projects. We will continue working with all our residents, commercial sites, and public agencies on our various grass replacement programs, various incentive levels. Next slide, please.
Can I interrupt for a minute?
Sure.
Yes, you know what I was thinking while you were talking, and I don't know if you talked to the city of West Hollywood lately or anybody's talked to them in a while, but obviously they don't get recycled water in that area, and I think it would be really good if you all just touch base with them again up there. And probably the same for Culver City as well. I do know this, a lot of the challenge we have right now is there's so much change in leadership. We got a lot of new school superintendents, we've got some new city managers, we've got, you know, potentially new elected people coming into offices in the local area, as well as staff have come and gone, retirements, et cetera. Like I know in Culver City, I don't even know if they have a school district, if they've got an environmental person back on board. So it's been a bit of a struggle. But on the other hand, because those regulations are coming into play, and it's probably going to be a dry, late summer, fall, going into the winter, I really think if you all can just continue to outreach to the some of the cities to let them know this is available to them, because this is really good money. And when you said this property in Carson, which looks beautiful, by the way, I mean, this is the great thing that we hopefully can encourage people to do, both the public agencies and the private companies, organizations. So I know we're going the right direction. And one last thing I want to say, because, you know, I was obviously down like driving in the South Bay and in Torrance and other places. Actually, when EJ and I were out looking at the PV lateral, and you drive down these streets, and honestly, every house still has grass. Every house. And some of them got fake grass, which is really unfortunate. You know, we don't want the fake grass, but I understand maybe some people have a reason for that. But on the other hand, there are many, many neighborhoods right now that no one has been taking advantage of these yet. And I know we can do better to get more involvement, you know, and it's a culture change. But, you know, we just have to think how we continue to infiltrate in some of those neighborhoods and pockets. I'm going to do my best in my areas, in my part, you know, and I know there are some streets in Culver City that are amazing, because you turn a corner and they're like half of them or more are drought resistant, whether they took advantage of a rebate or not. But I think a lot of other cities are not doing as much as they could. We can't force them, but boy, we can incentivize them. So I don't know how we all do it, but I think we just have to keep pushing, reminding. And even myself, I will tell these other, even the local electeds, you know, what's going on, because people need to wake up right now. And we've got dollars available, and I'd like to see West Basin using those dollars from MET as much as we can. But I'm really frustrated even now when we turn on certain streets in our communities and it's all grass. And that is not what we're trying to accomplish here. So I know I'm preaching to this choir, but you know, it's kind of mind-boggling that as much effort as we've all done, there's a lot of communities and neighborhoods that have just not done their part yet. So I know we can help make that happen, but I know the city partners need to help us as well, and the local retailers. So just putting it out there. I would like to see you all eventually devise a new flyer just to freshen it up at some point. You know, because I think people also see the same one over and over again and get, you know, the ones that see it and, you know, get stale. But otherwise, let's try to figure out ways to push up these numbers with our local cities. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
So, next slide, please. Thank you. Over the few months, Las Virgenes and West Basin have worked very hard to finalize the three-way MOU for the new joint project in the North Santa Monica Bay area. Both there and our legal councils have reviewed, adopted the MOU. And recently, Las Virgenes sent the MOU over to LA County Waterworks to have them review and approve it. For our board's request, last month, staff has reached out to their management to see how we can help, you know, to expedite the MOU more quickly, since it's taken some time to finalize it. So we'll keep the board updated on the progress we make with LA County. And at the same time, we are working on getting the project manager, Maureen Besnick and Associates, with their contract by early next month. We're very excited to develop and implement this project in the Las Virgenes, Malibu, and Topanga areas with our two partnering agencies. Next slide, please.
Gus, if I could just add on to that. Director Houston, you and I had a chance to discuss this project, I think earlier this week. I just wanted to let you know that I've been in contact, obviously, with the manager of water policy and resources development. And I do want to say thank you very much to Gus Meza. We've been working with LA County Waterworks 29 to expedite that agreement and do everything we can to get it in front of the board of supervisors for action. So it's my understanding that their staff was doing a final review this week. And I'm hopeful that once we get that approval, it can get agendized and we can get that thing moving.
Great, thank you.
For our Rain Barrel program, as you know, we rotate the events to the various cities within your divisions to be equitable to our communities. We are currently reaching out to various locations and schools to see if their locations are available for events. Staff is also working with board services to provide you with the locations and possible dates for the events. Staff issued an invitation of quotes recently for the purchase of the rain barrels. And so staff will be bringing that item next month to this committee. Recommendation to purchase the rain barrels. And lastly, on the rain barrels, we did procure some rain barrels for the painted rain barrel opportunity drawing for water harvest. And so our intern Caitlin is working with the schools. Some are just coming back, starting their new school year. So we're reaching out to schools. Our goal is to have a rain barrel for each division. That was a big hit of water harvest when they're all lined up there. So yeah, so next slide, please. This is my final slide. Here we plan upcoming classes. Most of these are webinars that the Metropolitan Water District offers. So we'd like to provide this information and packet website to let the residents know that there are free webinars that teach about grass replacement, turf removal, native plants, garden design. A lot of time residents not sure where to start, what to do. They want to do something, so I always refer them to take classes to learn more on how to do this, to learn about the rebates as well. So that is, oh yes, and we're also working with Water Replenishment District, with WRD, to put on some classes this fall, 2 classes in the fall and 3 next spring. So we're currently developing scheduling the events. We're contacting the locations right now. And so we try to come back with some dates and locations. So we're very excited to partner with WRD on some joint classes, landscape classes. That is the end of my presentation. So thank you very much.
Good, thank you. Great report. Questions?
I have a question for your guests on the rain barrel events, and I know that at least staff and myself, we've already started looking at some dates and options, but how soon are you all trying to get everything firmed up? Because obviously you try to create a flyer that has everything or as much as possible up front. So what are you guys looking at for deadlines from the board to make decisions on dates and locations?
Yeah, reached out for board services on the dates for the El Segundo event. And then we also we received a confirmation from Morningside High School in Inglewood for November 16th. So for El Segundo, we're looking at November 2nd or the 23rd for the event. So we're checking with our directors. We reached out to Palos Verdes Peninsula High School. We sent an email to the principal. I'm not sure if they're back yet, but I'll continue to reach out. And also Gardena, Sarah High School. We'd like to work with them as well. So we are reaching out, and our goal is to confirm these over the next couple of weeks and to start creating the flyer to promote these events. So that's our goal. So by next month, and I mentioned we're going to be purchasing the rain barrels. We're going to bring an item next month to the committee and board to purchase the rain barrels next month, September. And so our first delivery will be the contingency amount delivered in October to the plant. We always want to have 300 rain barrels at our plant in case anything happens. We want to make sure we can get rain barrels to an event. So we learned a lesson there about having contingency.
Okay, very good. And then you've got 200 residents apparently already on a wait list, which is pretty amazing. So, okay. Well, obviously board services will push hard with all of us directors to try to finalize dates, myself included, because I'm trying to look at that November calendar.
He does it right.
Because our bigger efforts try to, have one flyer that goes out, has all the dates, everyone knows things up front rather than, 2 or 3 to be determined, et cetera. And I know that you guys are working hard to get it accomplished early, so we appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Anyone else?
Mr. Chair, hi, Director Gray, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
Hello? Yes.
Yes,
As you mentioned Inglewood High School, can you repeat that information regarding Inglewood High School?
Yes, Director Gray. Hello. Yeah, they mentioned that Saturday, November 16th would be the best date for them for an event at Morningside High School.
That's Morningside, not Inglewood High, correct?
That is correct. Morningside High School, working there with Eddie Connor.
Okay. Okay. Well, Desiree will call me to make sure that that's available for me too. But all right, I thought it was Inglewood High, but it's Morningside. So thank you, guys. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
One more.
go ahead.
And then Malibu, you're already in touch with Malibu, right?
They are interested and excited about doing a small event there. So yes.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Yes, with Division 1, usually we have the peninsula. But what happens this time when the earth has moved up there? Has it created a problem with where we host the
Yes, can I ask Amy? I know you're more familiar with the area up there, Amy, in the landslide area. PV Peninsula High School, is that further away from the landscape area, the landslide area?
Yeah, Palos Verdes, not Peninsula High School, Palos Verdes
Palos Verdes Peninsula.
Peninsula High
Yeah,
School?
Palos Verdes
Oh,
Peninsula,
that's
which
fine.
is,
Both high schools are out of the main areas, whether Rolling Hills Estates or Rancho Palos Verdes, those are the two main sites. So those should be fine. The reason why we changed the firescaping was it was supposed to be at the Ladera Linda Community Center, which is right at the cusp, and they just want to reserve that for any possible potential needs, not because it was impacted. It's a beautiful facility. But so then we moved one up to the top of the hill, not far from PV, Peninsula High School. So all sites are good, yeah.
thanks, thank you.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Next,
That concludes our information calendar. Brings us to closed session items. We do not have any closed session items today, which brings us to director's comments and future agenda items.
comments, questions, praises.
Wow, that was a fast meeting, I gotta say.
Gotta say, I'm very pleased that Division 5 seems to get its share of the money in this operation.
Something's in the water over there. We're taking advantage of that. You know? So real quick, Mr. Chair, if I could just
Mike.
say first, I do want to say thank you, staff, because, you know, you all are doing a great job. I mean, there's so many moving parts. We know this. And then fall kicks in and water harvest and just everything. And I know that each of us has different things happening for districts and you all step up very well. I wanted to, well, a couple things really quick. One was the newsletter looked great. The website, I think, looks fabulous. You know, seems not to have too many kinks as I was tooling around in it, but it just looks really good. And I actually heard a couple of people who did tell me, wow, you guys got a new website, you know, so it's like people pay attention and that's good. And I know you're always thinking outside the box on the outreach and I appreciate it. And the one thing, I mean, it's a little early, but I know that we've talked about it before, is how we're going to educate our retailers and our residents and business out the upcoming outdoor turf regulations that are coming into play. I know it's a little ways out, like what, a couple of years, EJ, I think.
Yeah, and we just recently did a staff presentation, not just touching on that, but also the water use efficiency framework. And a big piece of that is how we educate our retailers and work with them to get the word out, because ultimately they're going to be the ones enforcing those matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see, we have one-on-ones that we're gonna start holding this fall with all of our retailers, and we want to see how we can support them, how we can get the word out to their customers. Hopefully, we'll be able to utilize their channels, you know, their customer newsletters or bill inserts, things like that. So,
When is it that a lot of that goes into effect?
2027 is kind of the first real teeth to it, or potential. Yeah, and then over the next couple of years after that, it can ramp up in terms of even getting up to fines potentially for the retail agencies.
Got it. Okay. Just because even though I know it's the retailers who really are going to bear the brunt of this, but obviously we do our presentations. I know sometimes you got some slides in there and other stuff, but honestly, you know, the public's not really wholly aware. And some people are a little bit upset or skittish about it, you know, or even scared because, you know, they don't like the government telling them what to do. But I just think that we also, as the wholesaler, need to be ready for those conversations. And even I want to make sure I'm educated properly in what we're saying and how we say it. Because this is just going to be a whole new reality for our whole state. And certainly for a lot of our service area, especially ones that don't have recycle water. And again, I don't think people are at all ready for this, quite frankly. And it is what it is. It's on our heads to deal with it. So, you all will start preparing and contemplating and educate us as we roll that out and talk to constituents. But I just do see a lot of folks are going to be a bit angry and upset as they learn how this works. And they're going to start taking it out on some of us in different ways. So we just need to be prepared ahead of time, which also is why we can push much harder, yes, on grass rebate removals, you know, some of these other wonderful programs so that people won't be hit as hard in the pocketbook, et cetera. So anyway, maybe, you know, this is out and a ways out, but maybe in the next handful of months, EJ, you all can provide us some more information on how we're going to be articulating that and what we can say to people in our districts.
We'd be happy to do that. And I think the main thing for us is that we want to present a unified front on this with all of our retailers. You know, we don't want people to say different things to different people. We want it to be a common talking points that we're using. So we'll use that with the board, and happy to, do some education on that. And then same thing with our retailers so that we're all speaking from the same place.
Great. Cool. With that, thank you, Mr. Chair.
I agree 100% with Director Houston on that. Because it's important that since we're not in the faces of most folks. They don't pay us, they don't write a check to us. You know, if they wrote a check to us every month, we'd have a better relationship with them. They would still not like us. Because we are the government. But yes, but it's important that we have what our message is uniform. That we say that all of us across our divisions say the same thing. So we won't have people say, well, that's not what Director so-and-so told me. You know, we don't want to hear that. You know? So we want to be all on the same page and speaking about it as often as we can. Because with marketing, the key is for us, we're always doing guerrilla marketing. We're saying it. We got to tell them all the time. But we know one person who's very good at marketing like that. Just say the same thing over and over and over and over again. And soon people begin to believe it. So please, that if we can have a message that goes out from us, that it's the same. And we just keep saying it over and over again. So they'll believe us. Okay. So thank you. So what else is out there for us?
That completes the agenda, brings us to
Mr.
adjourn.
Chair,
Oh,
Mr. Chair.
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'd like to make, as my usual, I just want to thank staff for their report this morning. They
All
always,
right.
always very good with it, so thank you.
Thank you. All right. Anything else? Is that it, Director Deere?
You may adjourn.
Well, thank you very much. You've heard it. We're adjourned. Thank you.